all these prompt cards. There's a bunch of them here. I don't even know how many. And this is actually a combination of both, of two different prompt decks. I've got both Get Messy prompt deck and Kyla Give Hands Inspiration deck here. But I thought I would make a page using those prompt cards. And this is the page I'm going to be using. I just already have this background here. So let's see. A page you've previously created with different colors or materials. So in a previous journal I worked on years ago, I've got this cute collage bear that I like, so I think I'm going to draw a bear that's kind of like this. Alright, so first I'm going to sketch it out with a pencil, and I've decided I'm going to use a Sharpie to outline it, just because my black paint pen dried out, so I don't have one. So I just drew a circle for the head. Now other for the body. And then my original is kind of got his arms up, like he's having a little party. The face I can just draw freehand with the Sharpie. So now I'm just going to outline everything. We'll go ahead and draw the face. The original had a little triangle nose. Oh, let's make it a little rounder than that. There we go. That's now. Don't know. Let's do it kind of like that. I think that looks better. Oh, he's missing the holes for his ears. Can't hear without ear holes. There. I think that's good. So we've got a little happy bear. So let's see the next card. Blind contour. Don't look at the page until you're done. I'm gonna have to think what I want to do a blind contour of. Ooh, I could use a thinner pen and just kind of do a thin contour, a blind contour of the same bear. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm using a Staedtler 01 pen. It's a pigment liner. So, and I am going to move my old journal because I'm going to use the original art journal page that this bear came from as kind of a reference. And I'll just start at the ear. But other than this, I promise you that I am not looking at the page, which I'm sure will probably become obvious pretty soon if it isn't already. But I love doing blind contours. Whoops. Oops, I went off the page. Feel the pen slip. Alrighty. Honestly, could have been worse. That leg matched up really well. I'm impressed with that. This is probably, and those ears aren't too far off either. This is probably the closest I've come to a decent blind contour. Well, I say decent as if you can have a decent blind contour. Alright, and this one's from the I Like of Hands inspiration deck. Okay, so now it's just create your own. So, I think I will paint my bear with watercolors. So I'm feeling kind of like I've got this watercolor palette from Culture Hustle. Thinking I feel like this darker pink here. So I don't remember what the color names are. I have the color palette somewhere. Oh, I found it. Oh, the color swatches. So that is Runaway. So I'm gonna first paint the bear with water. And this is watercolor paper, I believe. I made this journal myself that I'm working in, but this feels like watercolor paper, so I don't always remember what all papers I used in my handmade journals, because I like to use a large variety of papers. So now I'm just taking that Runaway paint color and painting my bear. This is quite fun. I don't usually do, whoops, that's fine, do characters like this in this style anymore. And then I think I want a purpley color for the belly. Might use, I have some handmade watercolors that I made, so I think I'm going to use this purple. And probably should have sprayed that first. And I just started getting into making my own watercolors. I found a website called Natural Earth Paint. You can get pigments and binders and stuff, so you could make oil paints, you can make watercolors, they even have acrylics that you can make, and I put it in quotes because it's not really acrylic. But I'll link everything. I'll link that as well as the prompt decks in the description. Okay, so now we've got the bear all painted. I like him a lot better now that he's painted. I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it at first, but alright, let's see. What color underwear? Oh my. Put that color in your journal. I knew about this card because I've seen it and I thought it was funny. And I was like, one of these days, I knew it was gonna come up during a video, but anyway. Anyway, I am boring today though. My underwear is white. But so I will let this dry, and then I'm thinking that I'll do like a white circle around the belly portion there. So it's dry now. So I've got my white Posca pen. them. There we are. It'll get bumped up, so I'm just kind of cleaning off my paint pen a little bit there. Alright, let's see, next card. Use neon. Alrighty. I think I have this fluorescent yellow right here, which I don't actually recommend these paints anymore because I noticed a bit ago, I'm trying to find the disclaimer. Oh, yeah, but I saw, like, there's that warning of this product contains chemical known to the state of California to cause cancer, which I try to not use things that say that, but I didn't notice when I originally bought those that they say that. I'm saying all this because I did make a video, like, a long time ago that people still watch where I did a review of these, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the other ones either. I'm trying to get through my acrylic paint collection and make my own acrylic paints using the Natural Earth acrylic medium stuff. But anyway, trying to use up what I have first, though. So now I'm just giving them a yellow belly, I guess. Oh, I should have used pink or orange. I do not like this. That's okay, though. Can always cover it up with something else. I don't know. I knew I didn't like the white outline. So then I thought covering it up with this would make it better, but I just made it worse. That's okay. Let's see. This next one. Grab 3 colors, add white to them, and use their tints. Okay, I think that will actually make this better. I think I'm gonna let this dry again, because I don't want to make mud. And then I'm thinking that I'm gonna take like a pink or maybe a purple, mix that with the white, then use another color for the background mixed with white, and then maybe add some doodles or marks or something like that with another color mixed with white. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright. I'm back and this is dry now. I am still going to cover that belly. I don't like it. So I'm going to use this fluorescent pink by Liquitex. And mix it with some gesso because I really want to cover up that yellow. So I'm just squirting it right on my under paper. And there's my brush. So I'm just kind of mixing it together. That looks pretty good. So now we'll see if I like this better. That's totally better. I'll probably do some more something to that. Yeah, I want it to be a little smoother than that. Yeah. Oh, except my much better. And then for the background, so this will be color number 2 with white added to it. For the background, I'm going to mix this quinacridone nickel azo gold mixed with probably just regular white paint, because I don't really necessarily want to cover this so much. I found that using white gesso makes it's easier to make it more opaque than using regular plain white acrylic paint. So I'm just going to use regular white acrylic. And so I've got this top-notch white acrylic, which I don't like that much. It's gotten very chunky on me. But I'm almost done with it. And honestly, like, I also tend to prefer squirt bottles over jars just because it's easier to pour it out. But, I don't really care too much about contaminating colors, honestly, especially when it's like cheap paint like this, so I'm probably just gonna add some of this directly into there. Let me kind of spread this out and clean up the brush a bit. And this is why I like to put the paint on my underpaper, because I will use these papers in collages and other mixed media pieces. And so that way it doesn't waste the paint, because I always put out way too much paint than what I need. Anyways. So I'm mixing that nickel gold, and I do not recommend doing what I'm doing right now if you want to preserve your colors. Okay, so this did turn out pretty opaque, which is fine. Like, if I wanted it to be transparent completely, then I would not be using acrylics right now. And I'll probably end up re-outlining the bear because I am covering up quite a bit of it. Whoops. That's okay. All can be fixed with more layers. Which is probably why I like mixed media so much, because I do not like being very precise with my art. It's too boring. Let me just, okay, that's already dried. Oh well. Whoops. Ah! Oh goodness. Okay. Now, I want to add some marks. I'm going to be mixing this permanent dark violet with white to add marks, but I'm trying to decide if I should let this dry first. I mean, unless I want the brown to mix into the purple, I should let it dry. I won't let it dry, so give me one. Okay, so, yeah, I decided I'm not going to let it dry. And, however, probably going to use finer tip brush. Oh shoot, I just washed my, I tried to keep my watercolor water jar separate from my acrylic one, just because I don't really have a reason why. It just makes sense in my head, and I just dipped my brush covered in acrylic paint into my watercolor water jar. Oh well. But these like to clog on me with the screw tips, so I am peeling that off. I'm just gonna do the same thing that'll upset everyone as I did with the gold, and then mixing it with the white. That's good. Now I'm just gonna do kind of like wiggly vertical lines. Ooh, I really like that purple. I've never tinted this color before. I've used it, but only at its full strength. It's a great color at its full strength too. But this is a nice purple. That's enough on that side. So if you just have jars of paint, and you don't want to do what I'm doing, where I'm just putting the paint directly in the lid, which I don't blame you. You can just use like a palette knife to get the paint out of the jar pretty easily. Or if you had a longer handle brush, you could do that too, just dip directly in. In the past, I have tried to pour from the jar, but that always makes a huge mess for me. especially once it gets towards the bottom and I have to like tilt it a lot more in order to get any to come out. It'll start coming out really fast all of a sudden, and then I have a huge mess on my hands. Let's see, so that's good there. I think we're getting close to done with this little bear painting. Let's see what's next. Pastels, chalk or oil. Okay, so I think I will definitely let this dry first. And then perhaps I'll fix these areas with some black oil pastel, maybe use some pink to kind of cover up the splotches that got onto, like, over the outline of the bear. So, yeah. Alrighty, so it's dry now, so I've got to find, this looks black. Yeah, that's black. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to fix these outlines. And the other spots like the ears and stuff. I actually really like this. I don't think I've fixed something this way before. I think I've always just used whatever the original material was. Like, I think in the past, I would have just typically gone back in with a Sharpie, which would have worked, but I kind of like how this is kind of introducing another, like a different line quality. Also makes the bear feel a little bit softer. Okay, but yeah, so now like I expected, the little brown splotches are bothering me. So let me find pink. I think this pink, whoops, will be perfect if I don't get covered in paint, that is. Okay, I think this pink will be good. Let's find out. Okay, so that's not working as well as I would have liked, but it's at least making it so those brown splotches aren't so jarring, so I'll stick with it. Oh, it looked better down there. Maybe if I go back in again, yeah, no, I'm just making a mess of things. Probably because of the black oil pastel. Probably should have done that first in retrospect, but that's okay. Now, probably just add a little bit more in some spots so it doesn't look so out of place. I think that's good. See, now the belly's sticking out a lot to me again, so let's see the next prompt. Write a thank you letter to a part of yourself. I could do that in the belly. Maybe do some scribble writing to kind of bring back what was in the background. That was some of the scenic writing. So I wasn't writing any actual letters there, but I can do like a loose, kind of loopy script. Okay, so now that fits in. I like that much better. It fits in a bit more with everything else that's happening. Though I think I might want to somehow include pink back into the background here. Let's see what the next color is. Look around your home. Use the color. Use that color palette. Now, when doing this on my own and using these prompt cards on my own, I've gotten that card before, and typically I'll just base it off of my underpaper, because that's in my home, and I don't feel like looking around for a color palette. So, I'll just use that as an excuse to reintroduce some pink. Since I wanted to anyway. So I think I can actually, because this pink is right here, and that's from me mixing this with the gesso, and which is the exact same color that I did for that belly there. So I am going to mix that again. And then, thinking I'll add some dots, like going vertically there. So let us mix the paint. There we go. Nice pink. Painting a circle. Oh, yes. I like that very much. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now, am I done, or do I want to pull another card? Let's see, the next card is a marks card. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'd call that done. So there's my happy little bear. I honestly, I'm actually pretty happy with this. Yeah, I always like using prompt cards a lot because I always end up trying something new, and I'm almost, usually I am happy with the end result. So yeah, and since this was inspired by an old art journal page at the beginning, let's compare that. So this is the old page that I did several years ago. There's the new one. I have to say I like the new one more, but that's probably because my style has changed so much. Like, I think I was still in college when I made that original collage bear.